Could this be the end of an era in Minnesota? Have we truly seen the last of some of the most iconic playmakers to ever wear the purple and gold? Welcome back to the channel, Vikings fans, where today we are diving headfirst into a whirlwind of news that has the entire Twin Cities in a state of absolute shock. As the 2025 campaign draws to a close, the atmosphere surrounding the Minnesota Vikings is anything but calm. While the playoffs might be out of reach this year, the front office and coaching staff are making moves that suggest a massive internal revolution is already underway. We are talking about roster promotions, devastating injury reports, and the terrifying reality that legendary players like Aaron Jones and TJ Hawkinson might have played their final snaps for this franchise. Let's set the stage. The Vikings are preparing for a home showdown against their bitter rivals, the Green Bay Packers. Usually, this game would be the highlight of the season, a battle for NFC North supremacy. But this time, the context is different. The Vikings are playing for pride, but more importantly, they are playing for the future. Head coach Kevin O'Connell is currently under the microscope, as every decision he makes right now will echo through the halls of the TCO Performance Center well into the 2025 offseason. The biggest headline hitting the wires today is the official promotion of Taki Taimani to the 53-man roster. Now, for the casual fan, Taimani might not be a household name, but for those who follow the trenches, this is a statement move. Taimani, an undrafted free agent out of Oregon back in 2024, has been grinding on the practice squad. At 26 years old, he is exactly the kind of clogger the Vikings need in the middle of that defensive line. He showed flashes in Week 14 against the Washington Commanders, playing 21 snaps and proving he can't be moved by a single blocker. But why now? Why promote him for the final game? It's simple. Kevin O'Connell is looking for answers. The Vikings have struggled to stop the run consistently this year, and Taimani represents a young, hungry prospect who could be a rotational piece for years to come. By putting him on the active roster today, the Vikings are basically giving him a one-game audition to prove he belongs in the long-term plans. If he can disrupt the Packers' ground game on Sunday, he might just secure a life-changing contract this spring. But as one door opens for a young player, it seems to be slamming shut for the veterans. The injury report released today is nothing short of a nightmare. The team has officially ruled out Aaron Jones and TJ Hawkinson. Let that sink in for a moment. These are the pillars of the Minnesota offense. Aaron Jones, who came over from the Packers to show he still had gas in the tank, has been a beacon of hope in a difficult season. His vision, his leadership, and his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield have been invaluable. But now, with a lingering injury keeping him out of the finale, we have to ask the hard question. Have we seen the last of Aaron Jones in a Vikings uniform? We know the salary cap situation is tight. We know the team wants to get younger, and we know that Jones isn't getting any younger. The same goes for TJ Hawkinson. Since his arrival in that blockbuster trade with the Lions, Hawkinson has been the safety net for our quarterbacks, but he has been sidelined since Week 16, and the team's decision to rule him out now rather than pushing for a final appearance speaks volumes. Are they protecting their asset for a trade, or is the injury more significant than they are letting on? This isn't just about one game against Green Bay. It's about the entire philosophy of the Vikings roster construction. General manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah is known for his competitive rebuild approach, but right now it feels a lot more like a total demolition and reconstruction. Fans are rightfully nervous. You don't just replace players like Jones and Hawkinson overnight. These are Pro Bowl talents, guys who demand double teams and dictate how defenses play against us. Without them on the field Sunday, the offense is going to look radically different. We are going to see a lot more of the depth players, and while that's exciting for development, it's terrifying for the scoreboard. And let's not forget the secondary figures involved in this drama. Kevin O'Connell is trying to keep the locker room focused, but how do you do that when two of your best players are sitting at home and rumors are swirling about their release? The tension is palpable. The Packers are coming to town, and even though they are resting Jordan Love and playing Clayton Tune, they would love nothing more than to stomp on the Vikings while they are down. This game has become a psychological battleground. Can the Vikings prove they have a future without their aging stars? Can Taki Taimani become the hero we didn't know we needed? The storytelling here is rich because it's about more than football. It's about the business of the NFL. It's a cold, hard business where loyalty often takes a backseat to the salary cap. As we look at the historical context, the Vikings have often been a team that holds on to veterans a year too long. Think back to the ends of the eras for guys like Dalvin Cook or even Adam Thielen. It's always painful to see them go. But if O'Connell and Adofo-Mensah are serious about winning a Super Bowl in the next 3 years, they have to make these difficult choices now. The promotion of Taimani is a small ripple, but the absence of Jones and Hawkinson is a tidal wave. We are watching the transition of a franchise in real time, and Sunday's game against the Packers is the first chapter of a very long and uncertain offseason.
Now, let's go deeper into the tactical analysis of what this roster upheaval actually means for Sunday and beyond. If you're a Vikings fan, you need to understand that this isn't just a random injury report. This is a roadmap of where the team is heading. First, Let's talk about the Clayton Tune factor. The Green Bay Packers are resting Jordan Love. They've locked in their postseason spot, and they have zero interest in risking their franchise quarterback in a game that doesn't change their seeding. This means the Vikings defense, led by the newly promoted Taki Taimani, will be facing a backup quarterback. On paper, this should be a blowout for Minnesota, right? Wrong. The Packers have a system that works, and Clayton Tune is hungry to prove he can be a starter in this league. The real battle will be in the trenches. With Taimani clogging the A-gap, the Vikings are hoping to force Tune into making quick, panicked decisions. This is where the tactical genius of Kevin O'Connell comes into play. He knows that without Aaron Jones to lean on in the running game, his own offense is going to be one-dimensional. He needs his defense to create turnovers and short fields. But let's get to the heart of the matter, the rumors. The NFL grapevine is buzzing with the idea that the Vikings are preparing to cut Aaron Jones and TJ Hawkinson this March. Why? The salary cap. The Vikings are currently projected to be in a very tight spot, and the dead money hits for these two players become much more manageable after this season. If the Vikings want to build a championship roster around their young core, they might need that $20 million plus in cap space that Jones and Hawkinson currently occupy. It's a brutal reality. Think about the impact Aaron Jones has had. He wasn't just a runner, he was the heartbeat of the locker room. His veteran presence helped the younger receivers find their rhythm. If he's gone, who steps into that leadership vacuum? And Hawkinson? He is arguably a top 3 tight end when healthy. Losing him means losing the ultimate mismatch. This is where the expert analysis comes in. I believe the Vikings are moving toward a value-based roster. They want players like Taki Taimani, cheap, young, and physically dominant, to fill the roles that expensive veterans used to hold. It's the Kansas City Chiefs model. It's the Baltimore Ravens model. But it only works if your scouting department is hitting home runs. Is Taimani a home run? The data from his time at Oregon suggests he has the raw power, but he lacked the consistency to be a high draft pick. The Vikings coaching staff has been working with him behind the scenes for 2 years, and the fact that they are willing to burn a 53-man roster spot on him now suggests they've seen a massive jump in his development. We also have to look at the other players ruled out, Gavin Bartholomew and Miles Price. These are depth pieces, but their absence further thins out the special teams and the 12 personnel packages that O'Connell loves to run. The Vikings are going to be playing with a skeleton crew in some phases of the game. This brings us to the future scenarios. Imagine a 2025 Vikings team without Jones, without Hawkinson, and potentially with a new defensive identity centered around young giants like Taimani. It's a risky gamble. If it fails, Kevin O'Connell's job security could vanish overnight. If it works, he looks like a visionary who knew exactly when to pull the plug on the previous era. The fan reaction has been polarized. On social media, half of the Skol Nation is calling for a total rebuild, while the other half is terrified of losing the few stars we have left. The common thread is uncertainty. No one knows what the Vikings will look like in 6 months. What we do know is that Sunday is a farewell for many. Even if the team doesn't officially announce it, you can feel it in the air. The home crowd at US Bank Stadium needs to be loud, not just to beat the Packers, but to honor the guys who might be wearing that jersey for the last time. In conclusion, the Minnesota Vikings are at a crossroads. The promotion of Taki Taimani is the first brick in a new wall, while the exclusion of Jones and Hawkinson signals the potential demolition of the old one. We are looking at a tactical shift toward youth, a financial shift toward cap flexibility, and a cultural shift toward a new era of Vikings football. It's going to be a wild offseason, and it all starts with the final whistle on Sunday. Will the Vikings finish on a high note, or will the weight of these roster decisions be too much to bear? One thing is for certain, the landscape of the NFC North is about to change forever. Make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel as we follow every single update from the Vikings front office. This is going to be a historic offseason, and you won't want to miss a second of it. Before you go, I want to hear from you in the comments. Do you think the Vikings should cut Aaron Jones and TJ Hawkinson to save money, or is that a recipe for disaster? And what are your expectations for Taki Taimani? Let me know your thoughts below. Don't forget to smash that like button if you found this analysis helpful, and subscribe with notifications turned on so you never miss a breaking news update about our Vikings. We are your #1 source for everything purple and gold. Thanks for watching, and as always, Skol!